I wanted to use this video to talk about training curiosity by marking moments of curiosity or good feeling, by changing position, allowing Lawrence to better remember that good feeling, like here when he looks at me and away from the environment. By marking this moment, I help him remember it, and I also help him build the association with what happens afterwards, which is a period of flow, where we're able to be together and be the same as each other, enjoying what he would like to do. In this way, he can feel that curiosity is something that makes his life better, and perhaps start to use it as a tool in his arsenal to help him manage problems and challenges he might face in his life. Not only does it feel good intrinsically, but it might also, in fact, help him to deal with those problems and help him engage in a more positive way with life, which would be very useful for any training method that we would try to use. Here, I try to mark that moment, but it was a little overwhelming for him, and so he starts to move. I was a little bit late there because his feet started moving before mine. Here, I'm starting to look for that next moment. And we're sort of in a yield together here, some sort of flow, but we've not quite found the place for us yet that's going to be there. And even that place didn't last so long, and you can start to see here the challenge that I came up against in this session. As he moves his chin towards me there, he was asking me to scratch it. And so I walk away from that feeling, because scratching is something for us that's not in fact comfortable or invoking curiosity anymore. It's become quite concerning. It's quite obsessive for Lawrence, and he finds the whole thing quite overwhelming. There's never enough scratching for Lawrence anymore. And this is probably due to a variety of factors. He may also just be feeling more itchy at the moment, and so this problem is seeming worse to both of us. But I suspect it's also a feel and timing problem on my part, that I've used timing in ways that's helped him feel worse about it, and to feel like that I'm never in the right place for long enough, or that there's never quite enough scratches for him. And now his level of concern is built into some sort of concerning addiction to that feeling and that activity together. Here we're still looking for some flow together, but you can see that since he started to ask me for the scratches, his feet have started moving more and he's become more uncomfortable. And so I start walking around back into my supportive leadership, making myself not the same as him, looking for the next moment of flow that we can have together. And I'd be looking for perhaps ear flicks, perhaps eye flicks, perhaps something a little bit more. I'm offering him a nose touch there, but he doesn't really want to take it. You can see his head moves slightly. And I could have taken that, but I didn't, and I decided to move to a different type of supportive leadership, where I'm stroking his body. And this is actually a higher intensity supportive leadership, so I'm increasing the pressure on him here, because this is something that he doesn't really like as much as when I'm walking around. This is more difficult for him. And if the weather was nice, I probably would have had a little bit more patience, but this session was quite challenging for both of us individually. You can see that it's raining and it was really cold. And so my patience was quite low, and I really wanted us to have a good time together. So I was increasing the pressure in an effort to provoke a focus change, which is not always successful. And you can see there, as I was stroking underneath his chin, he was thinking about scratching again. But there was a nice eye flick towards the environment, and I took that so we could take that moment together. Working in different environments requires you to give yourself grace. Some days are going to be harder than others. And it's important to appreciate the good moments that you can take together. Like Lawrence and I here, nobody's thinking about scratching. We can do something nice and easy together. On this day, that extra intensity of the supportive leadership was helpful for us. And I'm glad that he was able to manage it without becoming overwhelmed. Here you can see him start to think about scratches again. He's starting to move his feet and bend his neck in that way, making it quite obvious. And you can see I've not really quite got it yet. Still waiting, trying to find flow before I finally realise that actually that entire movement was not comfortable for him mentally. He was trying to tell me that he wanted me to scratch him again. And this is what I'm talking about with my poor timing, is that I wait for him to really feel bad about the scratching or the absence of the scratching before I do anything about it, rather than immediately finding a new, distracting, supportive leadership. But this is okay. This is the goal. This is the challenge. This is what we have to work on.